What the hell did we just witness? How did we go from Donald Trump this week saying that Elon was a fantastic guy to then him saying that he fired him because he was wearing thin? And Elon going from tweeting saying that he loves Donald Trump as much as a straight man can love another man, to last night accusing Trump of being a PDF file, we'll get into that, and saying that he should be impeached. And this isn't just like two regular people having internet beef. This is the richest man in the world versus arguably the most powerful man in the world. And when those two clash, there is consequences. Tesla has dropped. Crypto has dropped. The markets have reacted. Twitter has exploded. Elon's ex-girlfriend has jumped in offering Donald Trump some advice for breakups. And you know things have really got out of hand when Kanye West, out of all people, is calling for peace. I mean, how are they gonna give the internet that amount of ammunition by breaking up at the beginning of Pride Month? So, let's talk about why they're beefing, who started it, and no matter who loses this back and forth, there really is no winners. Let's stop the yapping and let's get cracking! So, one of the main questions that I've been hearing a lot is, where exactly did this all go wrong? Because they loved each other before, now they hate each other. Where is the mark? Well, just 6 days ago, it's hard to believe we're here after just 6 days, but it was time for Elon to officially leave the White House, and things seem to be on good terms. You know, Elon did turn up to the Oval Office with the black eye, which was a little bit sus, but he said everything was okay, and so did Trump. Elon said that it wasn't over for him and Doge, and Trump said that Elon will still be around and he will be a government advisor. Things parted ways nicely. But then, after Elon officially left the Trump administration, he started taking to Twitter, and then he started criticizing one of Trump's major policy bills. I think it's probably the biggest that he's trying to pass. And he called it a disgusting abomination, pretty powerful words, and he said that it would significantly increase the national debt. And this was the first major time that Elon had actually spoken out and criticized something that Trump was doing. And of course, the media pounced on it like crazy.
How mad do you think President Trump is going to be when he finds out that Elon Musk said, "I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it."
Look, the president already knows where Elon Musk stood on this bill. It doesn't change the president's opinion. This is one big, beautiful bill, and he's sticking to it.
Now, from what it seems, not only did Elon seemingly start this conflict, but it's like he was asking for it, because he then kept on tweeting about this bill over and over again, making these small little jabs. And things only started to explode when Trump was asked about what Elon was saying online while he was in the meeting with the president of Germany. But still, listen to Trump's words, in comparison to what we're about to get into. He said, "I can understand why Elon is upset. They had a great relationship, but he's not sure if they will anymore. And that he was surprised because they had a wonderful send-off and Elon said wonderful things about him." Trump then went on to say that he doesn't know what's going on with Elon. Maybe he's got the Trump derangement syndrome, and it happens a lot. Because, and this is a key point, no one knew more about this bill than Elon did. And he also said that Elon endorsed him very strongly and that he could have won Pennsylvania easily without him, referring to the election. Now, believe it or not, this is actually very professional in comparison to how bad this ends up. But like I was saying, Elon, it felt like he was kind of waiting for some of this, because after Trump actually addressed it, it sent Elon into like a tweeting frenzy. Let me just go rapid fire through this. He said, "False. The bill was never shown to me once, and it was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could read it." He said that if it wasn't for him, Trump would have lost the election and that Trump is ungrateful. And then he said something that no one expected. He said, the whole Republican Party, and tweeted out a poll asking, is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents the 80% in the middle, which over 80% of his followers voted yes to. Now, this is just a barrage of tweets, and at this point, Trump had actually finally finished his meeting with Mertz. He then went on to a separate event, which he refused questions from the press, because I'm sure he was being briefed like, "Yo, Elon's going crazy. I think you want to be prepared for this one." And then after that, it was finally time for Trump to take to Truth Social online and start, sending his shots back. He then claimed that he asked Elon to leave because he was wearing thin, which For context, that was not what the public was told, what they told us. They always told us that Elon had to leave because members of the public could only serve as like government advisors and stuff for a certain amount of days, and that's why he was going. Not because he was wearing thin, was on drugs, or that he was fired. He said that Elon's only mad because he took away his EV mandates and forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody wanted. This is also coming from Trump when he was given that free PR for Tesla as well, outside the White House. I know you remember that one. And then he then doubled up and tripled up, saying that the easiest way for our government to save money, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. And then, quote, "I'm surprised Biden didn't do it." Woo! Now, time for Elon to jump back in, because he replied and he said, I think knowing how much the US economy really relies on a lot of his businesses, he said, "This just keeps on getting better and better. Go ahead, make my day." I don't know if even Putin would give Trump this kind of sass. And at this point, I have no idea what happened over the next 60 minutes with Elon. Maybe it was the ketamine. But he goes Kanye mode.
As a joke, and he would then share it with you. And this is a part.
That's the only way to describe it. He said, "In the light of the president's statements about cancellation of my government contracts, SpaceX will begin decommissioning its Dragon spacecraft immediately. Trump only has 3.5 years left as president, but I'll be around for 40 plus years." And then, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Woo! If you could only feel the ground shake, the proverbial ground shake at that moment when that tweet was sent out. I was on the internet, Alex was messaging, everyone was messaging like, yo, what the hell are we witnessing right now? And there truly has never been a more accurate time for this. That's what it felt like for this meme. Because legit, think about it. All of the Kimmies, the Kim Jong-uns, the Xi Jinpings, they all will be looking at this like, this is crazy. It's like we always say, America is our favorite reality show. But the point that confused me is like, why did Elon even say this? Because I don't see any of the thought behind it. Whether it's true or it's false, he's not taking the W. Both are bad for him. Because, let me play it out. A, it's true what he said, that Trump is in those Epstein files and there's some incriminating stuff. Well, that means that Elon knowingly helped him become president, showered him with continuous compliments and praise, and even let his 5-year-old son hang out with him. That's if it's true. Or B, if it's not true, then not only did Elon Musk lie, but he is willing to accuse Trump of something false and so horrific just because he is insulted in a Twitter beef. So which one is it? True or not true? Both are just as bad. Maybe not just as bad, but both are bad. But wait, Elon was still not done because, of course he's not. The richest man in the world then suggests that Trump should be removed as president, and JD Vance should take his place. At this point, all hell is breaking loose online. Ashley St. Clair, Elon's ex, tweeted, "Hey, real Donald Trump, let me know if you need any breakup advice." JD Vance tweets a picture with Theo Vaughn, out of all people, and he says, "Slow news day. What are we going to talk about today?" And then you know we're really cooked when Kanye West tweets something that sounds like the voice of reason. He says, "Bros, please, no, we love you both so much," with them hugging. Like, how is this even reality, guys, at this point? What Avengers are we assembling? Oh, man. But here's where things get even crazier, because it's very rare in an online beef match that Trump is the one that says the less crazy stuff. So we were all expecting, after the Epstein stuff, like a nuclear tweet. And it's just gonna like say something about Elon that will just destroy him. But no. Instead of addressing any of it, he simply tweets saying, "I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done it months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever presented to Congress," and then he just talks about the bill, addresses none of it. And that was that. Elon didn't really say much more. Trump locked off for the night, and here we are. I don't know where this goes from here. I don't know if they wake up and they start going at each other again. Will they make up and become friends again? Will Elon just get deported back to South Africa? I do not know, but I think before we wrap up, it is time to take some bribes to keep the lights on. So, sacrificial lambs who bribe to remind you to subscribe. Get them on the wall. We shake our pens now with the cap on, because otherwise, we know what's been implanted in here before. Attempts against the Supreme Leader's life. Remember, they feel pain, so you don't have to. Have a fantastic weekend! Woo! Love you guys. Have a great weekend, and I will see you for a news roundup on Monday. Woo! Well done, Alex. Oh, I thought we weren't recording. I thought we were. Testing. Oh my God. Oh, I would have died.